I thought hiring a cleaning lady would make my life simpler. Instead, it cracked my reality in half. She called me while I was at work, voice trembling like she was trying not to be heard. "Sir, is someone else in the house? I hear footsteps. In the basement. I live alone." I told her to get out, to call the police, to never go down there. By the time they opened that basement door, it wasn't just a trespasser they found. What happened next was surprisingly shocking. Please subscribe for more stories like this. It started like any other Tuesday. I was under the hood of a '98 Civic at the shop, sweat beating down my back, even though it was barely 9:30 a.m. The garage fan whirred like it was dying, and the scent of old oil mixed with burnt coffee clung to everything. Tuesdays were quiet, predictable. That's why I scheduled the cleaning lady for that day. Her name was Alma. Maybe mid-50s, small frame, but moved with the briskness of someone who didn't like wasting time. We'd only spoken once when she came to look at the place. She said, "No pets, no kids? Good. I'll make it shine." I'd left the key under the fake rock by the porch. My house wasn't anything special, 3 bedrooms, too much space for one guy, especially after Angela moved out, but it was mine, and I liked the idea of coming home to it clean for once. So when my phone buzzed and I saw her name on the screen, I figured maybe she was locked out, or maybe she couldn't find the mop. I wiped my hands on a rag and picked up. "Hello." There was a pause. Then her voice, soft but tight, like she was trying not to breathe too loud. "Sir, is there someone else supposed to be here?" I blinked. "What? No. What?" "I hear footsteps," she whispered. "In the basement. Heavy ones. Like a man." My blood ran cold. The rag in my hand dropped to the floor. "Alma, listen to me very carefully," I said. I didn't recognize my own voice. Lower, sharper. "Get out of the house. Right now. Don't say anything. Just go outside, lock your car, and call the police." She didn't argue. Just said, "Okay," and hung up. I called 911 next. My hands were shaking. I told them my cleaner was inside my home and heard someone in the basement. I gave my address and begged them to get there fast. Then I stood in the middle of the garage, heart pounding, sweat cold now. My coworkers noticed. Pete asked if I was okay. "No," I said. "Someone's in my house." And for the first time, I said it out loud. Someone might have been living there all along. The first weird thing I noticed after Angela left was the milk. I'd buy a gallon on Sunday, and by Wednesday, it would be nearly gone. I thought maybe I'd had more cereal than usual. Or maybe I was just being careless. I never thought too hard about it. Then it was the towels. I'd come home, and a new one would be hanging in the bathroom, damp. Still, I told myself maybe I forgot I used it. Maybe I grabbed a second without realizing. When you live alone long enough, you start believing your own excuses. Angela used to say I lived like a ghost, half there, half somewhere else. After she left, I embraced that. I worked long hours. I'd crash on the couch with the TV still playing. I didn't notice much. Didn't want to. The basement? I hadn't been down there in months. After the flood 2 winters ago, the air always smelled a little off. I told myself I'd redo it one day. Lay new tile, maybe turn it into a gym or home office. But until then, I avoided it. Out of sight, out of mind. Until Alma called. Until those words. "I hear footsteps." The cops arrived 20 minutes later. I left work and met them at the house. Alma was outside by the mailbox, arms crossed, still holding her phone. Her eyes met mine, and there was something haunted in them. "You did good," I told her. She just nodded. The officers knocked first. Standard procedure. Called out, "Police," before going in. The door creaked as they stepped inside. I stayed on the porch with Alma. I didn't want to go in. Not yet. They were in there for maybe 10 minutes. Then one of them came back out. "You live here alone, sir?" he asked. "Yeah." He looked over his shoulder. "You might want to come take a look." I stepped inside, and the air hit me like a brick wall. Stale, damp, and something else. A smell I couldn't place. The officer led me to the basement door. It was open. "We had to force it a little," he said. "Hope you don't mind." I shook my head. The stairs creaked. It was darker than I remembered. The light bulb overhead buzzed when he flipped the switch. Then I saw it. A mattress on the floor. Old. Stained. Next to it, a pile of clothes. Not mine. Hoodies, socks, boxers. Someone had made a nest. Empty soda bottles. crumpled McDonald's bags, a journal with the cover torn off. There was a blanket folded neatly at the foot of the mattress. My whole body went still. Looks like someone's been staying here a while, the officer said. And just like that, my home wasn't mine anymore. I didn't step off the last stair. I just stood there, 1 foot hovering, because the sight in front of me rewrote my entire memory of this house. That mattress, flattened in the middle, a dent like someone curled there often, always on the same side. Like muscle memory. The pile of clothes beside it wasn't random. Folded hoodies, like someone still had the instinct to keep things tidy. One of them was mine, an old gray zip-up I'd written off as lost in a laundromat months ago. Another was unmistakably Angela's. The purple one with bleach stains she used to sleep in. How the hell did that end up here? The food wrappers told another timeline. McDonald's bags dated from weeks ago. Taco Bell napkins balled up in a corner. And then, the water bottles. All the same brand I kept in my pantry. Some half-drunk. The labels peeling. There was no sign of a break-in. No busted locks. No shattered windows. Which meant whoever had been staying down here had a key, or never needed one. The officer crouched near the mattress and lifted a spiral notebook missing its cover. It was weathered, pages dog-eared. I caught a glimpse of a name scribbled in the corner of one page. My last name. Recognize this? He asked, flipping it toward me. I took it with numb fingers. Flipped a few pages. My name showed up again. Then Angela's. Then Mom and Dad, like a list, crossed out, rewritten, circled. Then, underlined, in jagged handwriting. He still leaves the light on in the kitchen. My chest tightened. I always left the kitchen light on. A habit from childhood. Angela used to tease me about it. I stopped noticing I did it. Someone else had. I think whoever this was knew your routine, the cop said. Yeah, I managed. Looks like it. What I didn't tell him, what I couldn't yet say out loud, was the memory that slammed into me the moment I saw that handwriting. It looked like Darren's. They say your brain notices things before your body does. And mine did. I was already bracing for what I'd find next. But it still felt like a punch when I saw them. Black Nikes. Size 11. Laces tied loose. Scuffed on the toe like someone dragged their feet when they walked. My brother wore those. The last time I saw Darren, it was summer. He'd shown up on my porch out of nowhere. Said he needed a place to crash. Said it was just for a week. That week turned into 3. He slept on the couch, ate my food, left dishes in the sink, and didn't pay a cent toward rent. I asked him to find work. He promised he would. Instead, he disappeared. Left a note on the fridge. Thanks. I'll pay you back soon. That was 5 months ago. He didn't call. Didn't text. I assumed he was couch hopping, same as always. Darren had a way of slipping through cracks. He was charming when he wanted to be. Too charming. Mom always fell for it. I didn't. But it turns out he hadn't left. He'd just moved downstairs. One of the officers came back with a report. No signs of forced entry, no surveillance footage from the neighbors, and no one found in the area. Whoever had been staying here had vanished. He knew what he was doing, the cops said. You'd be surprised how common this is. Squatters living in attics, basements. They learn your habits. Wait for you to leave. Yeah, I said quietly. I guess he would know. I didn't tell them who I suspected. Not yet. Instead, I walked through my own house like a stranger. Every sound, every misplaced item, suddenly loaded with weight. The cereal box that ran out too fast. The front door I thought I'd forgotten to lock. The time I found the thermostat set higher than I'd left it and blamed my own memory. He'd been here, living under me, listening. They found him 2 nights later. He was trying to crawl back in through the basement window. A neighbor saw a flashlight and called it in. When they caught him, he was wearing the gray hoodie, the one I'd seen on the mattress. He looked thinner, scruffier, but still him. Still Darren. When they called me to confirm identity, I drove to the station. I half expected him to look ashamed, to say sorry, to explain. He didn't. Instead, when they brought him into the interview room and he saw me through the glass, he smiled. Like he'd beaten me at something. He shrugged. Like what? You left the door open. The officer asked if I wanted to press charges. Trespassing. Theft. Potential identity fraud. He'd been using mail that came to the house. I said no, but I told them I wanted a restraining order. And I changed the locks. Every single one. Front, back, garage, windows, even the sliding glass on the deck. Darren called once after that. Blocked number. Left a voicemail. You really gonna turn your back on your own blood? He said. This is what family does now. I didn't respond. Because here's the truth. Blood doesn't give you a right to someone's life. Their safety. Their home. That night, I slept with the lights off. For the first time in years. Because this time, I knew for certain I was the only one inside. Angela never came back. We still talk sometimes, but she moved on. And so did I, in a different way. I don't leave cereal out anymore. I check the windows twice. But mostly, I listen to my gut now. That whisper that says, something's off. Because it's always right. Have you ever discovered that the person haunting you was family? Tell us in the comment section and see you in the next video.